俺と同じく鬼に身内を殺された少年サビト少年と共に選抜を受けた。
Sabito! Oh my gosh, Sabito's been forever. I loved Sabito season 1. I was so sad when it was revealed that he's dead. Hi everyone, I'm going to react to Kimetsu no Yaiba, Demon Slayer season 4, episode 2. Water Hashira Giyu Tomioka's pain. Good. I'm glad this episode is going to be focused on him because I feel like ever since we don't really know much about him, you know. I mean, we're still not gonna know all the Hashiras, but like especially him because he was the first Hashira that we ever met, you know. And we've spent all these seasons with everybody except him. It feels like so. I'm really looking forward to learning more about him, and he always sets himself apart. Should I say always? But at this last episode, he set himself apart from the other Hashiras. You know, after they had that meeting, and he's like, okay, after a lady, what was her name again? Amani has left. He's like, I'm leaving too. But then the others wanted to have a meeting, and he's like, I'm not like you guys or something along those lines. And he left. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. Last episode as well, they talked about this mark that shows up on, showed up at first with these swordsmen, this first swordsman or something or other like that. And Tanjiro has the mark. Now the love Hashira and me. Oh, I'm forgetting my boy's name. I should never forget his name because I love him. Ugh. Muishiro as well. Those marks showed up on those two, and he gave them basically instructions as to how the mark showed up, like the conditions that has to be met for those marks to show up. So now the Hashiras will be training in order to achieve that, you know. And then at the end there, this crow shows up where Lady Tamayu was, and as like I said last episode, I don't trust this crow. I feel like it's Muzan in disguise for some reason. But then the crow is inviting her to the master's castle or whatever. So it's like, I don't know. I guess we'll see. That's what happened last episode. Before we get into this one, if you guys have my reaction, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and please consider supporting on Patreon at patreon.com/feelimini. And now let's start this episode. And here we go. Giyu Tomioka's pain. There's pain in there, so I don't like people. I don't like seeing people in pain. But then again, every Hashira, every Demon Slayer has some kind of pain driving them. So yeah, let's go. Oh, so he's okay? Because last episode I was debating whether or not if it was his steps, you know. Oh my gosh. What happened that day? Oh man, I forgot. Shoot. Well, I don't know where I put it. I had bought Tanjiro's earrings, you know. I look for it so that I can put it on next time. Giyu Iguro. I was trying to name the Hashiras, but no, I wasn't fast enough. Dang it. Oh my gosh, it's called Tengen. I was just thinking of a character in, well, not that we've ever seen this particular character, but like in Jujutsu Kaisen, Tengen, this immortal being or whatever. My boy. You came in when I stuck around. Yeah, he did receive a letter. I like the master's voice.
私は動けなくなってしまってね。義勇と話をしてやってくれないだろうか。どうしても前を向けるよう根気強く話をしてやってくれない。
If he's persistent, no worries. He's definitely persistent.
もしかしてもう柱稽古に？
稽古の前に会いに行かないといけない人がいて。一つ質問したいんだけど、いいかな？もし一人ぼっちの人がいたとして、その人に一人ぼっちじゃないですよって。
その人を元気づけようと思っているんですよね。私ならそっとしておいてほしいです。会いに行かれるお相手はお一人ですか？
はい。
What is she gonna give him?
なんですが、おにぎりを用意しました。
Oh.
炭治郎さんとその方の分です。
I don't trust the crow.
ごめんください。
Now each time I see a crow fly by, I'm like, I'm reminded of that crow.
かまど炭治郎です。
I think I feel like he's gonna have no choice but to open the door.
帰ります。いや、帰ります。
No, he said I'm coming. No, he did not.
知ってたんですね。よかった。
近い。
じんわり怒っている匂いがするんですけど、何に怒ってるんですか？
お前が水の呼吸を極めなかったことを怒ってる。水柱にならなければならなかった。
To replace you?
鱗滝さんとも話したんですけど、使っている呼吸を変えたり、新しい呼吸を派生させるのは珍しいことじゃないそうなので。
水柱が不在の今、一刻も早く誰かが水柱にならなければならない。
義勇さんがいるじゃないですか。
俺は水柱じゃない。帰れ。
Why is he saying that?
よく話をしてやってくれないか。
はい。
Did he say yes, sir, to Kagaya or Giyu in that particular moment?
じゃあここに置いておきますね。
Is he gonna eat the rest balls or? Oh, he's sleeping there.
おはようございます。あ、義勇さん。
Be persistent. That's your specialty.
鬼の出現は収まっているようですね。鬼いないですね。よかった。では稽古しましょう。義勇さん。義勇さん。義勇さん。
これは一生続くのだろうか。
Oh my gosh. It's so funny. The way he said, Giyu-san, Giyu-san.
俺は最終選別を突破してない。
最終選別って。
Really?
俺と同じく鬼に身内を殺された少年サビト。
サビト。
少年と共に選別を受けた。
Sabito! Oh my gosh, Sabito's been so forever. I loved Sabito season 1. I was so sad when it was revealed that he's dead. You know,
サビトが。
the fact that they brought him. Oh.
すぐに仲良くなった。
Oh.
サビトは正義感が強く心の優しい少年だった。
Yes, he did. Oh, look at
年
that.
の選別で死んだのはサビト一人だけだ。ほとんど一人で倒してしまったんだ。
How could
サ
they
ビト以外の全員が選別に 水の呼吸、死の型、
My heart. This demon.
人は俺を別の少年に預けて助けを呼ぶ声の方へ行ってしまった。
And then he got killed. Because he was that demon with the many faces or something or other like that killed him.
体の鬼も倒さず助けられただけの人間が果たして選別に通ったと言えるのだろうか。
I see what you mean, but
と対等に肩を並べていい人間ですらない。俺は彼らとは違う。柱に稽古をつけてもらえ。俺にはあざも出ない。サビトなら出たかもしれないが。
と、義勇さんは自分が死ねばよかったと思う。
yes, I'm sure he does.
もう生きていて欲しかった大事な人が自分よりも早く死んでしまったり、えぐられるように辛い。サビとさぎり山で俺に稽古をつけてくれた少年。生きていたら義勇さんと同じくらいの年になる人。すごいな、すごいな。自分を守るのが精一杯で。サビトが生きていたらすごい剣士になっていただろうな。
Ah, yo, come make me cry.
煉獄さん、命をかけて俺たちを守ってくれた。誰よりも優しくて強かった。見事な生き様だった。煉獄さんの代わりに俺が死んだらよかったんじゃないかと思った。
信じると言われたならそれに応えること以外考えんじゃねえ。
そうだ、生きていかなきゃならない。本人は認めてないけど、柱になるまで義勇さんがどれだけ自分を叱咤して叩き上げてきたのか。だけどどうしても一つだけ聞きたいことがある。義勇さん、止まってくれない。サビトから託されたものを繋いでいかないんですか。
自分が死ねばよかったなんて二度と言うなよ。確実に祝言を挙げるはずだったお前の姉もそんなことは承知の上で鬼からお前を隠して守っているんだ。俺が命をかけて繋いでくれた命を、託された未来をお前も繋ぐ。キユ。
なぜ忘れていた。サビトとのあのやりとり。思い出したくなかった。涙が止まらなくなるから。思い出すと悲しすぎて何もできなくなったから。スタコ姉さん、サビト。
まずい、一人ともしなくなったぞ。ひどいこと言っちゃったかな。そうだ、早食い勝負をするのはどうだろう。勝負で俺が勝ったら元気出して稽古しませんかみたいな。
炭治郎、遅れてしまったが俺も稽古に。
義勇さん、誰かが早食い勝負しませんか。
なんで。胡蝶は何を教えているんだ。
忍さん、そういや聞いてないですね。
感情の制御ができないのは未熟者。未熟者です。ここは岩柱様の後でよろしいですか。
Stone Hashira?
かなお、こっちへ。はい。
I'm forgetting her backstory. What is it? I think it's much talking about the sister.
もっと師範と
She's not speaking her mind.
自分の気持ちを素直に言えるようになりましたね。私の姉、かなえを殺した鬼について話したいと思います。そして話しておきましょう。
Bruh, this episode went by way too fast. Doesn't it seem like it? This outro is ominous. Is that the demon she was talking about walking by? A crow again. I feel like I should rewatch this entire show. I feel like I've forgotten like maybe a few hints that may have already been sown into the show that are revealing stuff. I don't know.
この半分はもちろんサビトの形見、そしてもう半分は鬼に殺された姉のツタコさんの形見なんだって。
This episode made me cry and made me smile. Like, Tanjiro is just the best, man. And first of all, they started this episode with basically the last few minutes of the last episode when the crow showed up and, you know, at Tamayo's place and all of that. And then you actually see what was his name again? Yushiro. You actually see Yushiro run, because that was something that I was asking myself last episode. Like, we heard the steps, but we didn't actually see him. So I'm like, how are we supposed to know if he's actually him? You know. So this episode, they started with him running toward Lady Tamayo, and he actually got there. So I still do not trust that crow. I still do not trust that crow. He sounds like Muzan. Why does he sound like Muzan? And then you have the master that sends a letter to Tanjiro telling him that he can't move anymore. He can't actually speak as well, I guess. Maybe the last few words that he spoke to Lady Amane was like his last words, like spoken out loud. I feel like that's what he said this episode, like he can't speak. So that's why he's sending Tanjiro to Giyu, you know, telling him to be persistent and talk to him and all of that. And he does that, you know. But first, before he even went there, he asked for some advice from Aoi. And Aoi just like, I don't know what to do. Like, if it was me, I would just want to be left alone. But then she prepared some rice balls for him to take to the person that he's going to, not knowing he was Giyu. I love Tanjiro, man. When he got there, he was like calling out to him, and he was not responding. And then he's like, "I'm coming in," and Giyu's at first he says his eyes were closed, right? And then when he said, "I'm coming in," like, yeah, was it one eye open or both eyes were open? I'm not sure, but he opened his eyes. He's like, did I hear that right? No, I must not hear that right. He must have said, "I'm leaving." Then the door opens. It was so funny. And at first, when Tanjiro approached him, he was basically asking him to train him or something or other like that. And Giyu reproached him for not having mastered the water techniques and everything. He was saying that he basically was going to be the water Hashira. He was expecting him to become the water Hashira. And then Tanjiro's like, why, we already have the water Hashira. He's like, I'm not did he say I'm not a Hashira? I don't quite remember exactly what he said at that particular moment. And he just told Tanjiro to leave. And then Tanjiro remembered what the master said in the letter, "Will you be persistent?" And then he said, "Yes, sir." So in that particular moment, when he was saying yes, sir, I'm asking myself, okay, is he saying yes, sir to Giyu, telling him to leave? Or is he saying yes, sir to the master and his request of him being persistent? It could be both. Because he left, but then he kept coming back. And all the time while he was saying, Giyu-san was so funny to me. And then there came a point where, you know, Giyu was like, okay, so if I talk to him, will he stop stalking me? You know? And then that's when he started talking, and he told him that he did not pass the final selection. And I'm like, huh? And then he started when he brought up Sabito. Like if you guys will go back and see my reaction to the first season when Sabito was in there, like I loved him. Like I really did. And I was super sad when it was revealed that he's dead.
炭治郎誰よりも固く大きな岩を切った男だということ
And him and was it the sister? Because there was another girl. There was a girl also. I forgot her name. But like I was super sad when he died, you know. So the fact that they brought him back here, and it turns out that him and Giyu were friends. They were training together. They went through the final selection together. He mastered the water technique. He wasn't a water Hashira yet, right? You can be a Hashira and go to the final selection. But he did know the water techniques, you know, and he was using that, and he defeated all kinds of demons. He saved Giyu, and then that's when they showed the demon that actually defeated him, that killed him, you know. They showed him having someone in his grasp and whatnot, so he went off to save that person, to help that person, and he didn't make it back. And then Giyu felt like Giyu went through I think they said he was the only one that survived the selection. Was that what they said? But he passed out. Basically, he didn't actually do anything, and he woke up, learns that his friend is dead, and that he made it through final selection, and he's thinking, no, I did not. I didn't do anything. And of course he's gonna feel guilty about his friend that's clearly more talented than him, you know, die, and him that didn't do anything survive. There's gonna be that guilt. There's gonna be the fact that his friend died, that as well, you know, him, like the feeling that he would have preferred that he died instead of Sabito. It all makes sense why he will feel like he's not worthy of being the water Hashira, you know, why he sets himself apart from the others, because the others, we don't know all of their stories, but I feel like the others went through the final selection, you know, like it's not like him that didn't really do anything, I guess, you know. So he doesn't consider himself on the same level as the other ones. So that's why he doesn't see himself as a Hashira. And when they were having that meeting, it's like, I'm leaving. You know, he wasn't participating with the others. He was just all by himself because he didn't feel qualified to become a Hashira. And then when Tanjiro was thinking, okay, when they were talking about, Tanjiro was making the comparison between how Giyu felt about Sabito and how he felt about Rengoku. And then they were like, you know, when they were first talking about Sabito, like I said, I loved Sabito. So when they brought him back, I was starting to tear up. And then there was the music that was playing in the background. And then they brought up Rengoku, which if you saw my reaction to that movie as well, I was bawling my eyes out when he died as well. So it's like all those feelings just sort of like came back, and then I started tearing up again. And when Tanjiro told Giyu, I'm trying to remember exactly the words that he used. You know, I'm gonna go back and look at that because that's what was the most important, and that's what brought back Giyu. Aren't you going to pass on what Sabito entrusted to you? I feel like tearing up again. So when he said that, he was just like, he held his cheek, like he felt the slap that Sabito gave him in the past, that basically was telling him, your sister knew what was going to happen to her when she protected you from the demons. she was gonna die, and you're not gonna just give up on life. You're not gonna wish to die when your sister sacrificed herself for you. You have to keep going, just like he has to keep going after Sabito, saved him. He can't let Sabito's death be in vain. And that was like, that's what brought life back into him, I guess. He was brought back to life. Oh. So yeah, and then after he said that, he stopped moving, right? It's Tanjiro was just like, oh my gosh, he's not moving anymore. What should I do? I'm gonna dare him, invite him to a eating contest or something or other like that. And since he's not really a person that talks a lot, then he's not gonna be talking when they're eating. And then after I win the eating contest, I'm gonna, what did he say again? Ask him to train him or something or other. I don't know. But I'm like, boy. And then just as Giyu was like turning around and telling him that he was gonna participate in the training, and the guy just and then they were there and eating and all that. I'm like, oh. That was nice. This episode was nice. Like, I was super happy to see Sabito, and then I was also super sad to see the amazing person that he was die. And then when Tanjiro mentioned, how amazing he would have been, like, it was during the final election, but you see already how amazing he was. So years later, you can only imagine how far ahead he would have been. I don't know. I love Sabito. I'm glad they brought him back this episode and we got to see more of him, but yeah, it also makes me sad. Was there anything else? I don't think there was anything. The Shinobu. Giyu was asking Tanjiro if Shinobu was also participating in the training, and he said no. And then they go to Shinobu. Giyu had called himself immature, and then when she got to wherever she was going, and she was telling herself to master her emotions or whatever, and that only immature people something aren't able to control their emotions, I'm guessing. That's what she was saying. But you could tell that she was frustrated. She was angry because you see the lines showing up on her forehead and whatnot. And then Kanao shows up, and Kanao was also thinking that she was part of the training program, and she was about to leave to go to I think he was in Hashira's training that she was going to. But then she said something about the stone Hashira as well. Who is the stone Hashira? Is he the blind person? I feel like it must be. Because among all the Hashiras, he's the only ones that I haven't seen like do anything. We've seen Giyu in action. We've seen Iguro. We've seen Sanemi. We've seen Tengen. Rengoku. Yeah, we've seen pretty much everybody except for him, so he must be the stone Hashira. She mentioned him as well, and then that's when Shinobu told her that she wasn't gonna take part of the training session, and then Kanao herself expressed how she wanted to train more with him. I'm like, oh, because she didn't used to do that. And then Shinobu tells her that it's time that she should know about the demon that killed her sister and how to defeat this particular demon. And I'm trying to remember. See, that's why I was saying that I probably need to go back and watch this anime again, because I forgot a lot of stuff. And I'm trying to remember her backstory. The fact that she mentioned her sister, I think, I'm pretty sure I'm not going to remember correctly. She had a sister that was sort of like caring and whatnot, Kanao was in some kind of distress or something, and she did they adopt Kanao, but Kanao was not talking. And then I think Shinobu was not okay with them bringing Kanao to their place or something. And then how did the sister die? I don't remember. See, I need to go back and look. And then when going back to the beginning of the episode, when Lily Tamayo, after the crow left, and Lily Tamayo was like, after what happened that day, and then they showed, was it the first? See, I'm not confused now as to who that was. Was it the first soldier? Was it Tanjiro's father? You know, the person that first had the earrings, I guess. I need to go back and watch at this episode, those episodes, because I forgot a lot of stuff, and I feel like I'm not gonna be able to connect the dots properly if I don't remember exactly what happened previously. So yeah, I need to do that. I don't know if you've ever seen the demon that's killed her sister before. We probably have. If you have, I forgot. Yeah, sorry. Thank you guys for watching, and if you like this reaction, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and if you want to see my reaction to the next episode, you can do so by checking out my Patreon at patreon.com/Filamini, where you can see all my early access, full lengths, and yeah, see you next time. Bye. Bling bling.